Hello guys, welcome back to the web coding. So in this video, we are going to discuss our next question, that is count of substrings with exactly k unique characters. Okay, so basically in this question, we have given a string and a number k, and we need to find a count of valid substrings of a given string. Okay, the valid substring is defined as a substring that contains exactly k unique characters. Okay, so basically if we have given a firstly we have given a string here and a k. Let's say k is 3. Okay, and a given string is a b c b a and d. Okay, let's say this is a string that we have given, and this k, the k represent, we need to find a count of substring. Okay, the k, what the k represents here, we need to find a substring. That substring contains the characters. Okay, the substring contains k unique characters. What does the mean by the what is the mean by this? Okay, so when we are starting from this point a, so a, from a we can make a substrings that contains only k unique characters. So abc, okay, this is the first substring that we can make, and it contains k unique characters. That means three unique character a b and c. Now the second substring that we can made here, that is abcb, it is also contains k unique characters. Okay, abcba, it is also contains k unique characters. And but we can't add this d here. Why? This is a distinct character from this. Okay, so here from this point to this point, that means from this point to this point, we can make a substring that, because it contains a k unique characters. Okay, now we are starting from b. This this gives us three substrings that contains k unique characters. Okay, now we are starting from b. So from b we can create a b, c, b and a. Only one substring. Okay, only one substring that contains k unique characters. So b gives only one substring to us. Now we are starting from c. When we are starting from c, cba. Okay, c also given only one substring to us, so this count is also 1. Now we are starting from b, b a d. It is also contains k unique characters, and this is also gives us 1 as a count, and we have the count of substrings that contains k unique characters. In this string, we can get this number of substrings that contains k unique characters. Now let's parse over this string and finding the proper answer. Okay, so this question is solving by the acquire and release approach, acquire and release strategy. First we are acquiring some elements, after that we need to do some work here, and after that we are releasing the elements that we are uh, inserting our map. Okay, so for solving this question we need two maps. The first map is a big map. That big map contains k unique characters. K unique characters. Here our k is 3. Okay, and the small map contains k minus 1 unique character. Let's say here k is 3. Our k is 3 for this question. Okay, and this is our input string. Let's assume that this is our input string and our k is 3, and the small map, that is k minus 1, that is equals to 2. So it is a big map. So big map, and it is a small map. Okay, now we need to acquire some elements. After that we need to do some work, and after that we are releasing the elements from that map. So here at this point I'm writing this type of arrow for acquiring element for small map. Okay, this type of arrow for acquiring element for the big map. Okay, big map, say that small map, and it is a big map. Okay, big map. So this arrow represent big map acquisition, this arrow represents small map acquisition, and this arrow represent the release. Okay, By using this arrow, we are going to release the elements or characters that we are pushing or inserting into our map. So let's pass over this tree. Okay, what we need to do here. So where our first work is acquire. So both pointers say at this point. So we are acquiring a as a 1 and a as a 1 in this map also. Okay, so a as a 1, that we are saying a is appear for the first time. Okay, now after that we need to do some work. The work is, we are checking, what we are checking is our map, is our both map size is equals to, is less than equals to that representation. The big map represent is less than equals to k, and small map represent is less than equals to k minus 1. So our work is that firstly acquisition, after that checking the size of map. Okay, after that we need to calculate the count also. So we are talking about this a little bit further. Okay, after that removing, if this condition is false, if our map contains greater than k elements, then we need to release from that map. Now we are acquiring a here. Okay, and pushing that into our both map and checking, is our map contains this is our map size is k or k minus 1. Okay, both are true, then again acquire. So both pointer here, so b is appear for the first time, here also b is appear for the first time. Okay, after that we are checking that, is our map size, is big map size is less than equals to k? Yes. Is small map size is less than equals to k? Yes, it is equals to k. Now again acquire in both of map. So c is appear for the first time, and here c is appear for the first time. So first work is done for this iteration, first work is done, that is acquire. Now we are checking, our main work is that our checking, is our map contains, is our map size, is big map size is less than equals to k? Yes, so true for big map, but the size of small map is 3 and it is not equals to 2. Okay, less than equals to 2, so it is false for small map. So at this point we are releasing the c from this map, releasing c from this map, and the pointer at b of small maps pointer at b. So at this point, at this from this point to this point, our small map contains two elements, that is k minus 1 elements into that into small map, and our big map contains k elements into that big map. That means k unique characters. First small map contains k minus 1 unique characters. Here a and b are two k unique characters, k minus 1 unique characters, and a b c is a k unique characters. So our big map contains this. Now the condition is false for only small map, the condition is true for the big map. Now we need to acquire again. So again we are acquiring, that is a is appear for the second time, and we are again checking, is our map size is less than equals to k? Yes, so again true, again acquire. B is appear for the second time, again check, is our map size is less than equals to k? Is our map size 3 is less than equals to 3? Yes, it is true, again acquire. Now we are acquiring d for the first time, and now we are checking, is our big map size is less than equals to 3? Is 4 is less than equals to 3? No, it is false for this time. So because of that we are removing d from here, and our pointer is at b. Okay, now from this arrow to this arrow, this from this arrow to this arrow, the big map contains this number of, okay, big map contains this number of elements, this number of character into that map. Okay, and from this point to this point, our small map contains this number of characters or elements onto that map. So let's say here we need to calculate the count also. So from this point to this point, that means our big map contains this number of elements, That is, A is appear for 2 times. A is repeated here. B is also repeated and C is for the 1 time. So the big map size is 5. Big map character contains 5 number of times. Okay, A for 2 times, B for 2 times, and C for 1 time. So big map's element size is 5 and the small map's element size is 2. So from this point to this point, how many number of substring that we can made that contains k unique characters is ABC. First ABC, okay. Second ABCA. This is also k unique characters. ABCAB. This is also contains ABCAB. This is also contains k unique characters. So at this point, we got 3 number of substrings with k unique characters. So our second work is that calculating the count of element that are present into our big map and calculating the uh, count of element that are also present into our small map and subtraction from them, subtract the 5 from 2, 2 from 5, and the we got the count that we can make a big substring from here, and all the substring contains k unique characters. So from this point we got our 3 unique characters. Okay, now after doing this we need to release our a from this. So a's count is 2, so a is 1 and a is present for 1 time in this small map. Now the condition of small map is 1 is less than equals to 2, so we need to acquire 1 character. So C is appear for the first time for the small map. Okay, now we are checking, is our small map size is less than equals to 2? Is 2 is less than equals to 2? Yes, it is true. Then we are going to, this condition is true for acquisition. So for again we are going to acquire. Now we are checking the size of small map. These 3 is less than equals to 2. No, it is not true. So we are removing A from here and our pointer from A to C. Okay, shifted from this to this. Now again we are checking this, our big maps condition. This is true for now. So we are going to again adding this D here. So D is appear for the first time. Okay, now after that the condition is false. So for false, why this condition is false? So big map size is 4 and it is not less than equals to 3. So because of that the condition is false. So we need to remove this D from here. So we are removing this pointer from this point. Okay, so pointer from this point to this point. Now till at this point the big map contains from this point to this point this number of elements, and small map contains this number of elements. So it gives 4 count and it gives 2 count. Okay, so we have 2 number of substrings that contains k unique characters. Let's see which of those. So B C A. Okay, this is the first that contains k unique characters. B C A B. So two substring that contains k unique characters, and we got that count also. Okay, now let's remove this. Okay, first we have three substring, and now we have 2 substring. Our count of substring here. Okay, now after doing this, let's remove this from this. Okay, now after doing these 2 work, one we need to release one character from both of the map. So B is appear for the 2 times here. So 2 minus 1, that is 1, and here for only for 1 time. So we are removing this. So the condition for small map is true. What is that condition? Small map size is 1. It is less than equals to 2. Okay, so we need to acquire some one element into this map. Okay, after that we are going to check for this map, the condition is true or false. So 2 is less than equals to 2, so the condition is true for now. And we are also checking for big map here. So 3 is less than equals to 3. For this big map size is 3 and case value is also 3, so 3 is less than equals to 3. Okay, so at this point our small map contains this number of element, and our big map contains this number of elements. How we are finding that? This is the release point. So in between this arrow, from this arrow and this arrow, we got our big maps character, and from this point to this point we got our small map characters. So this length is 3 and this length is 2. Okay, 2. So we got our new count of substring, that is 1. Okay, so let's find out CAB. Okay, CAB. This is a substring and it contains k unique characters. Now after that we are going to uh, after condition is true, also remove this part also. Okay, so we have 3 plus 2 plus 1 number of substring that contains k unique characters till now. Okay, after that release one character from both. Okay, so we are releasing here. Now the condition is true for both. Now we are acquiring for small map, that is B appear for the first time, and big map, that is D appear for the first time. Now again the condition for both map is true, then we are again going to acquiring, that is D for the first time. So the condition is false here, so we are not going to acquire that at this point. And for the big map, A is appear for the 2 times. Now again the condition is true for big map, that is 3 is less than 3. Okay, now we are going to acquire B here. So acquiring B, again the condition is true. Now we are again going to acquire. Now count of B is 3. Okay, count of B is 3. Again the condition is true. Then again we are going to acquire C. Now C, after acquiring C, the size of map is 4 and the condition is false. Because of that condition is false, we are releasing this point from this. Okay, and our pointer at B. Now our big map contains from the element from this point to this point. So big map contains this number of elements: A for 2 times, A for 2 times, B for 3 times, B 1 2 3 3 times, and D for the 1 times. Okay, and our small map contains this number of elements. So the count of that is 6 and it is 2. So we got 6 minus 2, that is 4 number of substring that contains k unique character. Now let's find out A, B, D. It contains k unique characters. A, B, D, A. It is also contain k unique characters. A, B, A, B, sorry, A, B, D, A, and B. It contains k unique characters, and A, B, D, A, B, B. It is also contain k unique characters, and the count of this substring is 4. So we got 4 number of substring, more 4 number of substring, and removing this from this, clearing this picture. Okay, and this is the stuff, this number of substring we got here. After doing this thing, after doing this calculating the count, we need to release. So uh, increase the pointer of release. Now we need to release A from this. So A's counter point count is 2. So A is for 1 time in the big map, and remove A from this. Okay, now the condition the condition for both map is true. So we are going to acquire one element into small map, that is D. Okay, after that adding one element into big map, that is C for the first time. So condition is false here, so we are releasing the point from here and our pointer at B. Now the condition is true for small map, that is 2 is less than equals to 2. The size of map, small map, is 2 and it is less than 2. Now at this point we are going to acquire A for the first time. Now our big small map size is 3 and it is not less than equals to 2. So we need to remove this from this map and our pointer to B. Okay, now our big map contains this number of characters, small map contains this number of characters. So 5 minus 2 is 3. Again we got 3 number of substring, and which of this is B, D, A, B. Oh, sorry, B, D, A, B, D, A, B, and B, D, A, B, B. So 3 number of substrings that contains k unique characters. Now after that remove this and remove this. Okay, we only want the count of substring. Okay, after doing this work, we need to release one element from both of these. So releasing B from this. So the condition is true for both. Then we are going to add A here. Okay, now again the condition is true for now we are checking for the C. So when we are acquiring C here, our big map size is greater than K. So we are removing the C from big map and the pointer is here. Now condition is true for small map. So we are going to check here B for the first time. Now our big small map contains 3 elements, that is not less than equals to 2. So we need to remove this from this map and our pointer to A point. Okay, now at this point our small map contains this number of elements, our big map contains this number of elements, that means 2. Again we got 2 number of substring that contains k unique characters. Now after that, after this we need to release element from both of these. So D is releasing from this point and D is also releasing from this point. Okay, now both map condition is true, then we are acquiring element here B for the first time and the C for the first. Okay, both maps condition is true, so again we are going to acquiring B for the second time, F for the first time, F for the first time. Okay, so this condition is true, false for this big map. Okay, false for big map, but true for the this map. Now we are going to check here if C contains when we are acquiring C into small map, then our condition is false. Then we are going to release this. So from this point to this point, small map contains this number of element, and from this point to this map, this point, big map contains this number of elements. So 4 minus 3, that is 1, and again we got one substring, that is A, B, D, C. Okay, one substring that contains k unique characters. Now this is the approach to solve this question. From this we are going to code, but before we are going to code, we are not using two map here. We are going to only using one map while writing a code. But at that time, let's say, let's remove this from K is 3. Okay, K is okay here. Shifting this from this point, F is there. Okay, what we are doing when we are writing code, we are initializing one variable, that is k's count, and we are calling a function, that is solution function. It gives us, we are passing string and k element to that solution. It gives us a count of that for that k for that big map. Okay, let's say we are saying that this function, we are calling this function as a passing a string and passing a k, and we are going to make a hash map of k size. Hash map contain k number of elements. So this function gives us the count of sub array, count of substring that contains k unique character for this big map, for the k's map. Okay, and after that we are going to make a function for k minus 1 count, that we are again calling that function, same function with string, and for this we are going to call, that is not a k, that for this now k minus 1 element. Okay, k minus 1 element. Now this function returns the count of substring with k unique characters for this map. Okay, for this map. So after that, what we are doing here, this is a small maps count, that is 3, and this is a big maps count, that means big map count, that is 4. What we are doing for finding the count, we are doing here the big maps count, that is k's count minus k minus 1's count. This is what we are doing for finding the count. Okay, so we are going to make a two function here and calling only one. We are going to make two variables and calling only one function that gives us count for k elements and k minus 1 elements. So from this we are going to start with the code. So let's start with the code from here. and we are going to do a code in Java. Let's do a full screen here, increasing the font size. Okay, so first thing, we are going to initializing a variable and calling a function, a solution function that gives us a count for the big map. Okay, the solution function, we have an expectation in this function. That function gives the count of substring that contains k unique character for the k element, and now we are saying that k minus 1 count. Okay, we have faith in the same function. When we are passing the k minus 1 element to that function, this function return us the count of substring that contains k unique characters. Now we need to print that answer. System.out.println what k's count minus k minus 1's count. Okay, so we need to print this answer. Now let's make this solution function here. So public static int solution, it contains string string str and integer k value. Okay, so we are using the acquire and release approach here. So we are setting the j pointer at 0, that is j represent the release. Okay, after that we need a count variable that stores a count. Okay, and we are going to use a hash map of integer comma integer. Okay, map equals to new hash map. Okay, now we need to traverse over the string. Okay, and finding one by one character. So string I is starting from 0, I is less than str dot length. Okay, and I plus plus. Okay, now we are checking in our map if that map contains our character, and if our map contains that character, then we are going to decrease the case value. So I am writing that here. If our map dot get or default default, okay, map or default get dot default ult. Okay, default map dot get or default, if this value contains our string, then give it to give the count of that string. If it is not contains, then give the 0 for that, and if it is 0, then we are going to decrease our k as a 1. What we are saying here, if our map already contains the character, then let's see here. Okay, at this point our map is this and case size is, let's say, 2. We are inserting one element, case value is decreased by 1. Inserting another element, case value is decreased by 1, that is 0. Again inserting another element, then our case value is minus 1. So we are doing here, if our map already contains that, then give the count of that. If it is not contained, then put that and saying that it is appeared for the first time. Okay, and decrease the k for that, for putting the value into map. Okay, after that we need to put the value is also we need to put the value into map also. That is, if it is already present, if the value is already present against the str.I, if it is already present, then we are again saying that get or default what str of I. If it is already present, then for that value we need to increase the count. If it is already present, then whatever the count of that value and plus 1. If it is not present, then 0 plus 1. Okay, now the acquisition is completed. Now we need to find a count, the work and the release approach here. So from this point, if our k is less than 0, we are here discussing here, if our k is less than 0, then we need to release our one character from our hash map. That is, our case size is 2, and if we are releasing one character from our hash map, then our map contains two characters, two elements. Okay, so from this we are starting from release. Okay, so what we are here doing here, we are putting some value here, that is str of j, that is map dot get. We are getting the value of that against the j. Okay, and decreasing the frequency of that value. So we are put that value into our map. If our a contains for 2 times, so we are getting the count of that a and decreasing the frequency from the map. Now we are checking, is our map dot get of str of j, is it equals to 0? If it is equals to 0, then our map contains less than one, less than k elements. So the count increase the k by 1. So at this point, let's say here our map looks like this. Let's say map looks like this, and k is 2. Okay, so for the first time we are adding, decreasing the value of this, adding, decreasing the value of this. Now adding one element and decreasing the value. So now at this point our k is negative. Then k is negative, then we need to release element from our map. So we are releasing element and increasing the value of k by 1. Now k is 0. Now map contains equals to k element. Okay, if this this characters count is also 0, then we need to increase our k by again 1. Okay, why? Because the map contains only one character. Then we need to for the next time we need to update, acquire some element and again decreasing the value of k, acquire some element, again decreasing the value of k, and this process is cyclic process. This process is doing its work. Okay, now we need to again release the j also. Okay, after that adding the values into count and calculating the count, that is I minus j plus 1. Okay, so we are calculating the how many number of characters are present our map. Okay, so we are saying that at this point, okay, at this point our big map at this point, and small what we are saying, releasing pointer at this point. So the characters are present in between them are the count of that numbers. Now at this point we are returning the count from this point. Okay, this is the full code. Let's try to run it. So it is rejected for here. Okay, get or default, for get or default, get or default. Okay, map dot put, so array is required, but so we are giving a string value here. So we need to find a character first. If we are at this, we need to find a character here, that is str dot caret. Okay, so we are finding character here and putting that into map ch. Whenever where is str of I, let's say that ch. Now we are finding the character for release, ch for r, that is str dot caret j. Okay, so j. Now we need to write that as a ch and r. Okay, here also ch and r, and here also that is ch and r. Okay, so let's try to run it. Is there any compilation error? So compilation error, incompilable type, char cannot be converted to integer. So let's type here the character and let's try to run this code. So it is run for the test case, sample test case. Let's try to submit it. Will it be pass all the test cases? Yes, it is pass all the test cases. So this is the code, and this is the explanation from my side. So I hope you understand the question and the solution of this question. Thank you for watching.